Hello, hi. Let me know if you can hear. I see that Val and Abby and Heather and Otto and Donna are there. Hi. Oh yeah, awesome. That's the chair. Hi, Grace. Just gonna give it a couple of seconds more to give a chance to people to get here. Yeah, it got here super fast. And I'm kind of amazed at the post lately because I sent something like to Otto, so really far overseas, and it took only a few days to get there, which is pretty awesome. It's a bit baffling. I don't know about you guys, but over here the weather is disgusting. We're having like freezing rain, sleet, and it's just good grief, it's nasty outside. So I see that Calamity Jit and Dan are joining us. So welcome. Yeah, it's a bit baffling. I don't often send things like that and they take only a few days to get there. Maybe it was good timing. It has happened that I've ordered things from Japan and it got there in a couple of days too, and it wasn't through like DHL or anything. It was regular post. So wow, I guess sometimes we can really catch the good timing of the parcel reaching the post office, being sent out, reaching the plane, being shipped out, reaching the other post office, being shipped out again, and getting to your doorstep. Hi Arlie Bean, and Ron Chan, and James. Wow, and Ashley. A lot of people are there. So I will start. Just to give, oh, hi Cyan. Just to give a bit of a recap. Through amazing generosity, 2 weeks ago I was able to order the QOR travel palette. And it's a palette that I had been super excited about, but it was just outside of my budget, you know? And it was a bit difficult, but I was like, I'm gonna wait and it's gonna be like something, and I will review it and use it when I get to it. But this community is awesome, and you decided to send me graciously a great gift of money for my 5k subscribers. Way! And I have a knife in my hand, so that's kind of yay. But yeah, and that's how I was able to order this super awesome palette. So I figured that it would be fun to make this an impromptu kind of live event where I could show you guys the palette and we could open it together and share the experience. So let's get started. Just being careful, you're gonna hear this so loud because it's right next to the mic. Hold on, I will open this a bit further away. All right. Okay, so let's open this up. This is the bill. I'm super glad because I was able to get this while it was still on sale. Like, it is kind of a pricier palette, but then again, QOR is kind of a pricier paint, so no surprise there. But at the moment, wet paint has a great discount on the palette, and that's where I was able to order it from. Eventually, I think this palette is going to be a lot easier to find, but it literally just came out, so by the time it finally spreads outside of the US. Squeak. Yeah, QOR, I really like the QOR paints. They are on the expensive side of things, and usually the tubes are a bit smaller. I think it's something like, what, 11 milliliters. I think I have... So this is an example of the 5 milliliter tube, and yeah, it's 11 for the regular tube, and they're kind of pricey, but the colors are super vibrant. They react really well, and they are a lot of fun to use. So when they announced that they were making a travel palette, I was so all over this. Okay, back to the fun stuff. Are they as good as Sennelier? They're very different than Sennelier, but they are super vibrant. Like, ooh, look at this. Oh, hi Denise! And Lana! And Igo! And Maria and Marissa. Well, Victoria as well, hi! But yeah, QOR is super different from Sennelier. First of all, they don't use honey. The paints are made in the USA, and they use a proprietary binder that is called Aquazol. This is exciting. I'm out of breath. Okay, so this set is 12 half pans. This is the colors. You can see the price tag from wet paint. So it has 2 yellows, 2 reds, quinacridone magenta, a purple. Oh, my favorite purple too. 2 blues, green, and 2 earth tones and a Payne's gray. Okay, so it opens the box. The box seems to be exactly the size of the palette, so it's kind of a small box. And hold on, I'm trying to catch the chat as well. Yes, I will put this next to other travel palettes, just to show the size, because I have small hands, and look at this, it's super tiny. But yeah, so it's cute presentation like this that mimics the palette inside. It says brush out chart and 3 non-staining silicone wells. Wow. Have you guys used silicone wells for painting before? I know I haven't. Alright, so opening this up. Are you ready for the reveal? Dum dum da da. Okay. Whew. I'm all I'm almost as flustered as when there was the money for this. Okay, so this is kind of a nice size for it, but it's the full chart of the QOR watercolor range. Yeah, you can see from the swatches on this that the colors, they are as vibrant as the swatches, and of course you will always have colors like Terre Verte and like Titan Buff and Cobalt Violet that will be weaker than others, but that's because these pigments are weaker than others, so there's no escaping that. That's the way it's going to be forever. So just checking the chat. Oh yeah, I love that this set has a purple as well. Well, looking at this, QOR has some nice decent purples going on. It's always one of the like the oranges and the purples, you don't have many options in sets, but whoo, that dioxazine purple, I mean, it's gonna be awesome. I'm excited. Okay. Look at this. It is so small. Oh, and that's the thing that Marty was saying. Like, they did this super clever and intelligent thing to write all the color codes on the back of the palette. So you're not, you know, not gonna open it right away, but when you start painting and you try to remember which paint is which, and you have to sort of pop out the half pan, but it's all crusty with paint and kind of a difficult task. So I'm really appreciative that they've written all this on the back. And there is like name of the color in multiple languages. Seems to be English, French, Spanish, and German. And then you have the code and the light fastness. So single pigment, single pigment, single pigment, also single pigment, single pigment, single pigment, single pigment, single pigment. Oh, sap green is a multiple pigment color. And the paint is gray, but all the others are single pigment paints. Great. Okay, let's compare this to other size sets. Let me dig in here. Okay, so this is the super small, I think it's empty right now, but this is the super small enamel metal set that is really great. A great tiny set. So not much bigger. What else have I got in there? Okay. This is your standard 12 color tin. I have the same as this one, but with the water tank. Yeah, I will be making some swatches. I've readied the sheet and everything. For now I'm just digging through all the palettes. I was looking for the Aquafine set, which is sort of my go-to in terms of really small travel sets. Okay. Yeah, to everyone who is like, oh no, this set is not affordable, it will probably eventually be more available worldwide, because this is really new. Like, it came out, what, last month? The month before that? And, you know, paint is not the super trendy thing moving fast, so it might take a couple of months before it gets to Jackson's and others. Okay, so this is the Aquafine set, so it's a bit thinner, but it's also a bit bigger. This is the standard 12 color set, so this one is quite thicker, but not quite the same size. This seems to be fairly similar in thickness, but this one is super tiny, and it has, if you fit 12 half pans in there, you barely have any mixing space. So it's it's a great set for travel, but you need to be prepared to not have a lot of mixing space. And this one is basically the same, but there's an inside water tank in there. So, all right, time to open this one up. Is everyone ready? Just gonna make you wait a bit more by reading the chat. Marissa, if you are moving to Australia, you will be able to try the Spectrum paints, which seems to be pretty awesome. They have a great set that features colors that are all inspired by the Australian landscape. like the super bright blue sky, super nice sienna colors and all that. It's a really nice set, and I'm hoping it's on my bucket list. I hope I can get to try it someday. Oh, hi Paula! Paula's saying that she just ordered hers 20 minutes ago from Wet Paint, along with the Daniel Smith dot card. Awesome! I haven't tried the bubbles yet of the QOR lid, but I think I'm gonna be fine. I don't really mind this. I think I'm excited to try the bubbles, because I enjoy having multiple compartments to mix colors, but I will often reuse the paint, so I don't really mind that there's not that many. Right? 3, 2, 1, BAM! Okay, so first thing I noticed is that this is a bit bouncy. Pretty sure you guys can see, but the lid needs a bit of breaking in before it will lay down nicely. For now, it's a bit springy. There is this, the color chart, and it seems to be on watercolor paper, which is a nice touch, and the colors are identified by a letter as they are on the back here, so. This doesn't lay flat yet. I might have to work it a bit so it lays flat. It's a bit bouncy at the moment. That can be fixed. That's not the kind of thing that bothers me. So yeah, bing bing. There's a nice tracing paper sheet to protect the color, and those are the colors. Okay, travel was a bit rough on them. Like this one has popped out of its tray. They are definitely extruded colors because they really look like a tube of dry color. There's a bit of a couple of paint chips and dust on the silicone, so I would have to clean this up before I use it, because there might be some kind of color tinting going on. We'll try to see if I can get this to lay a bit flatter. See, that's not so bad. That only took a just gentle forcing the metal, because this is metal, so if you bend it slightly, it's gonna keep the bend. It's gonna be fine, and then I can close it just as well. It's not a problem. Yeah, okay, so this insert tray is made from silicone. Seems to be really snugly like caught in there, so I'm not so sure I want to try removing it. But the white insert is silicone, and the paint seems to be in little plastic. Oh, cute. So yeah, extruded paints. So you have these cakes of paints that are propped into the pans, and it often happens that they are not, that they are loose like that. This is not a problem. This is something you can fix by adding a drop of gum arabic or water at the bottom. Yeah, the pans, I'm not sure this will register, but the pans have a QOR written on the back. They seem to be smaller than regular pans. This is a generic pan. So yeah, the pans themselves are a bit shallower, and seems to be the same, just about the same, a bit different on the base as well. But the paints, like the pans here, are all overflowing. Like the paint cakes are huge compared to the pans, so that's great. There is not less paint in these pans than in other pans, so don't worry about that. Did you like touching the silicone? Quite fun. This is fun. Yeah, what else? Each on the silicone insert, you have the letter corresponding to each color at the bottom of the place with the pan. It might be a bit difficult if you want to move pans around to remember which is which, so maybe you would have to manually label the pans. The silicone is quite hard, like I can bend the partitions a bit, but I get almost no yield when I press the base. Alright, just for a moment I will just put this back in for a moment. Close this. And bring this over. All right, hi Mickey and Cat. Yay, Cat. Awesome. Okay, so I'm just gonna quickly fill in with the pigment information. So the first color is cadmium yellow primrose. So fancy, which is PY35, so that's legit cadmium pigment. Then we have nickel azo yellow, PY150. Third color is, oh nice, transparent pyrrole orange. Pyrrole, I'm sorry. It's pyrrole, not pyrrole, pyrrole. Oh, thanks. James is saying that he likes the calligraphy I use to write my charts. This is a direct result of last year's Inktober, where I sort of created the challenge to myself to learn a type of calligraphy by writing something each day for October. So I've kind of stuck with this, and now I use it to write my charts so I can still practice it a bit. Fourth color is Pyrrole Red Medium. Then we have Quin Magenta. I quite love their Quin Magenta, it's really nice. It's PR122. And then Diox Purple, wee! Dioxazine Purple, yay! Alright, Ultramarine Blue. You might be hearing the neighbor and the neighbor's dog. Alright, after that it's Phthalo Blue Green Shade. This is much easier to transfer over than having to check each pan for the color and having to reference another chart for the pigment code and, you know, putting this together. Oh, the type of the end leathering, I don't really remember. I think it was because my calligraphy book is in French. I have a reference book to learn this stuff, but it's in French. So I think it was like this, the Petite Caroline in French. So I got no clue what it is in English. Okay, this is the one with a lot of colors in it. It's PG36, so that's phthalo green yellow shade. We have some red pigment and a yellow pigment too. I quite like their sap green, like the result, so I don't really mind that it's a 3 pigment color, but transparent brown oxide is next. Brown. I keep making a Q instead of OX when I want to write oxide. Like my brain doesn't process the word oxide well. PR101. Almost done. Hang in there, people. Then it is burnt umber. I am so glad to see this color in there because I like it a lot. And it's a nice PBR7. There is no burnt sienna in this set. So we'll have to see if the burnt umber and the ultramarine mix for a super nice gray. Okay, this one is also more than one pigment. So it's phthalo blue, a black pigment, and a violet pigment. Okay, all set. Aw, you guys are way too nice with me. Obviously. Oh, also, I gotta take out my super sparkly brush rest. First thing I will do is I will just try to clean up the tray a bit, because it is full of, it's gonna be a mess of rainbow in there. I should pick up some tissue. Problem is with the tissue is that I don't know if it's gonna leave like a lot of leftover on the silicone. I expect the silicone tray to be staining, because I think silicone is more like it's kind of a porous surface, isn't it? Perhaps it's easier to clean though. I have really no experience with this stuff. Okay. Swatching live. The first color is the cadmium yellow primrose. Very easy to wet, no problem there. And it's super intense. Alright, just checking up the chat. If you have any questions, feel free to work. Yeah, I that's what I usually prefer to do, using burnt umber and ultramarine, or sometimes you can use like something like Van Dyke brown with Indanthrone blue, which makes a super dark gray. What's the benefit? Oh, sorry. What's the benefit of a silicone tray? I have no idea. This is the first time I see this. Does the silicone stain more? More? I don't know. I really expect it to stain, because either way, if it was metal or plastic or anything, you have so many staining colors in this set that I'm not expecting it to stay white. The only thing that I know that doesn't really stain is ceramic, but that's heavy and will break. These colors are so intense, like the pigmentation is incredible, and you barely have to, I didn't have to rub that a lot to get so much color that it's almost too much color. Mickey is saying that the silicone tray will last in a fire. I really hope it doesn't come to that. Okay, next color is transparent pyrrole orange. With the phthalo blue in this set, we can probably mix some really nice neutral with these two as well. Again, so intense. Yeah, I'm the same. I usually don't keep brushes in the tins, because most travel brush won't fit in the tin unless they are really tiny. Not necessarily the brush itself, but the point. Like, it's gonna be smaller number round brushes, and I don't really paint with those. They're a tiny bit too small for me, unless it's for inking. Okay, wow. if you guys have questions, you can make it a bit more visible for me by either doing the @ if you start writing Eve Bolt, it's gonna fill in the rest, because I know that the full name is a bit long. Otherwise you can just write question in cap and everything after that just regular, so I don't miss on your questions. Oh, so Marissa is saying that she repurposed the tiny Cutman brushes in a slider with metallics for calligraphy. That's a good idea, because for metallics and you know, like could be a great brush for if you want to add more white, like accents of white too, because that's a good way to use the small brushes. But otherwise, I don't really understand why they give you a round size 2 brush with the travel set. It's gonna take forever to paint anything. Alright, that was Quin Magenta, which is... I think they heard me in a way, because I keep saying that I like my sets to have a magenta in them, because it's such an important color for mixing. And see, this one has 12 colors and they found place for a magenta, and they even found place for dioxazine purple, and like the cake of dioxazine purple is so huge. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's almost like twice the height of its pan. Ah, yes, 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 yes. The most perfect purple. Alright, question. Eve, is this your first set of QOR? Paula had sent me like a tray with every single one of her QOR colors, and I did a review on that. But I've painted a few things with them, but I haven't really reviewed the sets. This is my first like full set I review without adding any colors to it or without adding any new stuff to it. So for the pure experience of a set of QOR, this is the first time. So far, this is pretty amazing in terms of color range. I'm impressed. I think if I was trying to put together half of a 12 color set, the first half would look something like this. Maybe not a cadmium color, because I'm not really familiar with them, so I don't know them well, but the same kind of cold / neutral yellow would be in my selection. Alright, are we ready for the next one, which is Ultramarine Blue? Okay, this is gonna be like either it hits or a hit or miss, because Ultramarine Blue, you guys know I am not a fan that much, because I hate how hard to rewet it is. This one is not hard to rewet. Not really. Like, I didn't rub it more than the others just to see, and that's quite a good color load considering the color. Not bad. Not bad at all. Colleen is saying that they've heard QOR's dioxazine purple is very light fast. Is so awesome. Not that I would stop using the color regardless, it's still one of my favorite purples, but the fact that it's light fast is a nice bonus. And no, Heather, I'm not gonna start over. You can watch the replay if you want to see the page from the beginning. Question: how's the Ultramarine Blue compared to Dan's? That's kind of a tough question, because I think Dan's Ultramarine Blue is unbeatable. Just let me get... We'll check after, but I've taken out my my box of handmade paints by other artists, so we can compare the ultramarine blue with Dan's ultramarine blue after. I am using a ceramic bowl for the water, and it's gonna be washable, but the paints are so pigmented that they still stain a bit the ceramic. I will have to rub the ceramic to clean this up. Next color is Phthalo Blue Green Shade. Quite what you'd expect from a Phthalo Blue Green Shade. Really nice color. Really smooth application. No, we are the Dan, the magical ultramarine blue is the one that Dan or in the chat, Penholder Art makes. His ultramarine blue is like magic. I'm gonna show you after. Okay, sap green. Ah, wow! This is so nice! I am pretty sure that this color is not gonna be loved by everyone, but I love it. It's super natural and it's a bit on the olive side of colors, so that makes me happy. Is there some confusion regarding the ultramarine in the chat? It's such a nice natural green. Okay, then we have a transparent brown oxide. Oh yeah, that's really nice as well. So nice and pigmented. Oh, okay. I've never had problems rewetting Prussian blue. Prussian blue, no problem for me. It's good to go. It's super intense. But I find that ultramarine blue has a very low pigment load. Like if you mix burnt sienna and ultramarine blue, you often need twice the amount of ultramarine blue than you need the burnt sienna, just to balance it out. And I've had really a lot of problems with my cakes of ultramarine blue, like the dried tube paint. It's super dry, it will get outside of its pan, it will get outside of its palette slot, and it's just hard to re-wet, and I have to pre-wet it in advance if I want to get super intense blue, so it's just annoying. It's an annoying color. Yeah, my camera is not awesome, so I will be, this is like a first impression unboxing type of video, but I will do a legit full review of this set, and the camera I use for filming for the regular videos is much better, so you're gonna see the colors better. But this one is definitely an ultramarine blue. This one is definitely a phthalo blue. They are not similar at all, and I think everything looks a bit more bright on camera than it is for real, but it's still like insanely bright colors. I will try the colors again once I'm finished with these. Hold on, because I saw that Mickey wants me to try the sap green again. Alright, so this is burnt umber. This is the most detached cake in the set. Some ultramarine blue, like Sennelier's Ultramarine Deep, are it was my favorite if you don't take into account Dan's, or this one, which is quite nice too, but the fact that it's from Sennelier means it's made with honey, so it's a bit easier to re-wet and get some intense color going. Yeah, ultramarine, Jose Diaz is saying that ultramarine blue has low tinting strength in comparison with the more organic, and they think that's why it's harder to get the juicy stroke out of it. Yeah, it's really... It doesn't have any tinting strength. Okay, question, am I crazy? A question from Sam. Hi Sam. Am I crazy, or do I not notice any slow wetting in Winsor & Newton Professional? Did you get your Winsor & Newton Professional from tubes or from pans? Okay, so last color, Payne's Gray. That's a really dark Payne's Gray. It's quite a nice color. Alright, so a couple of mixes. I'm gonna start with the ultramarine blue and the burnt umber to see what kind of gray they give us. So, I don't know if you can see in the lid, but I'm trying to mix a gray, and you really need a lot more blue than you need brown to get to a gray. The chat goes by so fast. I've noticed that the Winsor & Newton Professional range, if you buy the tubes and you dry it in pans, is going to be easier to re-wet than if you buy the pans pre-made. The way they make their extruded cake pans makes it a bit more difficult to re-wet, in my experience. Like, I've had really some bad issues with the Prussian blue at some point, to the point where I sent it back to them saying like, how is this color so weak? And then I bought the tube of the same company, same Prussian blue, but it's much easier to re-wet and it's much nicer. Okay, and I'm just gonna mix the transparent Parallel Orange and the phthalo blue to see. Funky odors. Like, do they smell? Not really. I really put my nose in them and I don't notice anything. I think the thing that possibly has the faintest of smell amongst all of these is the silicone, maybe. But aside from that, there is really nothing reaching my nose when the set is over there. Alright, so I said this blue. Whoa, whoosh, super intense. You can see that the lid, the metal lid, the enamel lid doesn't bead at all, which is kind of really nice. A really appreciated notion. And this is the orange. Come on, fight back some of the territory, orange, you can do it. So I'm getting more of a green color than a neutral, but it's still lovely. Yeah, Winsor and Newton, they really enjoy telling people that you shouldn't dry the tube paint into pans because it's not the same, and their homemade pans are much better and made for that and blah blah blah. But yeah, not really. You can do whatever you want. They're gonna be fine, you know, if you use the tubes and you dry them, it's gonna be okay. I always forget about the smell test, but it's really important because I totally understand, you know, getting some paints and you open it up and it stinks and you're like, whoop. This is not fun to use, and some people are super sensitive to this stuff, so they should put a warning like these paints have a smell of paint, or these paint don't really smell anything. Okay, so Mickey wanted me to do another swatch of the green. Is that it? Today is not a day to go outside at all. It's so dangerous. There is ice on everything. Floor, trees, cars. So either you get ice dropped on you from the trees or by cars passing by, or you slip and you break your butt falling on the ice. Yeah, I'm not sure this is the... I thought it was this phthalo blue and this orange to make a dark. Isn't it Theo Yichi who uses these for gray? But these don't really neutralize each other. They make a nice green though. Oh yeah, take a moment to compare the ultramarine blues. I just need a scrap of paper. I'm gonna use this from the live this weekend. The first swatch is gonna be QORs. Oh, okay, yeah. So apparently the Daniel Smith version of these colors is not quite the same as QORs, which is why I am not getting a gray, but kind of a green color. Okay, so this is my set of various handmade paints, and this here is Dan's Ultramarine Blue. I love opening this set because it... Oh, over here. It has a smell of clove. Look at this! Just look! This is unbelievable. How is this for real? This is insane. And now you know why it is Otto's and I's favorite ultramarine blue. It is the best. So Dan, I hope your stock of ultramarine blue is healthy, because we're going to be sending people your way for this color. It is like amazing. I can try my own handmade, but I think I wasn't able to mix it to that level of intensity. Oh. That's a lot of boxes for a small disc. So this is my handmade ultramarine blue. You can see that it's not at all similar to Dan's, even if I give myself a chance and pick up the paint twice. So I think Dan has like a magic supply of magical ultramarine blue and a magical process that makes it this insane color, because there is nothing like that anywhere else. Yes, I have tried Sennelier Ultramarine Deep. It is quite nice as well. Wait, someone wanted to see... Okay, I can take out the Sennelier one and the White Knight one. I think I saw pass by really fast. There was the... I think the Pure Pigment Magello one was really awesome too. Backling. Oh, okay, which one is it though? Seems to be this one. Yep, this one is White Knight's Ultramarine Blue. Not bad, White Knight. That's quite decent. I don't have the room to run it out because I don't want to paint over Dante. I'm gonna need a bigger swatching sheet. Oh yeah, awesome. This is the Billy Shovel palette, and I'm fairly confident that it has the Sennelier Ultramarine Deep in it. And I do believe it is this one. Alright, and just a small swatch of the Magello Pure Pigment one. Okay, packing up all the palettes. Okay, so this is QOR, this is Dan's, this was mine, this is Sennelier's, that's White Knight's, and that's Mission Gold's, but Mission Gold's looks like it has a bit of a purple in it, or a bit of pink in it to make it purple. So yeah, long story short, if you want the most striking ultramarine blue ever, go see Dan's shop. And we could do the sub the love. I think Dan might be able to post a link to his shop. But yeah, go check it out. It is the best one. Okay, back to our not exactly scheduled event. Oh, have I broken in the Stonehenge yet? Not yet, but I have a plan for it. There's a series of drawings I want to make soon that I want to use the Stonehenge paper. It feels so precious. Okay, so this is pretty awesome. Let's see what other kinds of mixes I can make from this. Just quickly. So I'm guessing you can get a nice semi-opaque green from the cadmium and the phthalo. The cadmium seems to be the only color with opacity in there, like with semi-opaque finish. Try to mix an orange from the warm yellow and red. Ah, this magenta is life. I'm so glad they put it in this set. Cyan is saying that they don't think this set can mix bright yellow greens. I don't think it can. Doesn't seem to be made with that intent, because they haven't included like if there was a phthalo green in there, you could get like, you know, you mix it with the yellows and you get a super bright yellow green, but it's a bit more difficult with these colors. What did I use for this gorgeous green? It is the Nickel Azo Yellow and the Phthalo Blue. I'm trying to see if I can bring it to kind of a yellow-green color that would pass science test. It's a bit annoying that the pans are not attached at the bottom, because if you want to pick up just a bit of color, the whole pan follows. So I might wait until it's dry and add a drop of gum arabic. I don't think the camera does the color justice, so this is greener than it is teal, unfortunately. If I wanted to mix a teal from this color, what would I do? I think this is, yeah, this is more of a teal color for real. Hey, hi Patricia and Kiharu and Erin. I will pick it. Let me get a clean sheet, then we can do some more mixes. Okay, I think someone suggested the sap and lemon and sap and azo. The sap green already has the nickel azo yellow in it, so by adding more of this, it's probably just gonna get like more of a yellow, perhaps closer to green gold, because that's how it's set out. So that's sap green and the azo, the nickel azo yellow. If you have questions, just repeating to make them obvious to me, because the chat goes by so fast that I don't want to miss them. You can @ me, like @ Eve, and it's going to fill in and you just had to click it, or write just question in caps so I can see it. I saw your question, Carrie, about European and African skin tones. I will try it just after I try the this lemon yellow with the sap green. It is so bright. My water is getting really gunky. Okay, skin tones. I'm thinking. I think a bit of this. These colors are really intense, so it's a bit difficult to dose them properly. No problem, Kyria. That's a very good point. I mean, that's not something I think about doing often. But yeah, it's a really good suggestion to try and mix skin tones with this set, because there is nothing in there that screams skin tone. So it's kind of interesting to think about how I can use these colors to hopefully make some semi-decent skin tones colors, because humans are quite fun to paint, if a bit difficult. And I think it's really worth investigating to see what can be done with this set. I'm a proponent of winging it. Like when I need a specific color, I just try to mix it and adjust and mix and adjust and until I can get to the color I want. I should have put my... Hold on. Someone asked if regular size pans would fit in there, but I think this one... Let's hope I don't turn one of my nails. I don't have any length on my nails at all, but I still find ways to flip them over, which is not pleasant. Huh, it seems like the silicone insert, like where you have the pan, this is the metal at the bottom. Yeah, I'm guessing you can fit a regular pan. I'm not sure if you would be able to fit 6 of them, but if you want to replace a color with a regular pan, it would fit fine, and it would close, I think, just as well, because making a mess. But this pan doesn't go over the top of the... how do I find mixing on the the bubbles? Oh, no problem. Really not a problem for me. I'm good with it. Not an issue at all. Darn you. So there, I will put you upside down so that your sticky side can stick to the bottom of this pan, and you will hopefully stop making a mess and wasting paint on my fingers. I want to try and make a darker skin tone than what I've been doing. See if that can be achieved. Yeah, I really don't mind the bubbles. I haven't tried the silicone mixing area. I am so not used to having mixing area on this side of the palette that I haven't used it yet. I could try to add a bit of green into the color to make for more muted colors. I kind of like leaving a lot of warmth in skin tones. So for me, this works as it is because it's still kind of warm. And unless I'm using a specific color palette, I prefer to use warm colors for skin tones. So it's cheating a bit, but it makes... It's one of those instances of using the feeling of the person rather than what your eyes see. Like I see that this person's skin is pasty, speaking for myself, but I prefer to use kind of to cheat the color a bit to add a bit more warmth. If I was doing a painting where it's about being cold, then I would tweak my color to reflect that more. If it has 9 bubbles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah, 9. There are some really small ones, and there's a big one there. I would possibly never wash this area, or these. I tend to just re-wet and use that as a base and add in more color and wing it from there. It's not even from a mindset of not wanting to waste paint, it's just, you know, being lazy possibly, or I like to start from somewhere rather than from nothing. Oh, bye Sam! Otto is saying that those bubbles not being aligning to the other bubbles would annoy the hell out of them. Yeah, it's peculiar, I guess. It's like, I'm not really sure. Well, no, I say that, but I can already think of a use for the smaller well. But it's definitely original. There. Oh, hi, Jennifer Charlie. Yeah, the washes, like this is a cheap brush and this is like cheap student paper, and the washes are super nice. There is, well, no streaking in those. There's a bit of streaking in there, but that's possibly just the application. But the color smooths out really nicely. Connor is asking, do you feel the set is missing any color that you find to be invaluable? Not really, but I think I would have preferred something like a PY3 instead of the cadmium. It's usually fairly similar in hue. It's a cool yellow, but it is transparent, so it makes for a bit brighter mixes with the rest. Like if you have PY3, phthalo blue, and the magenta, you have a super nice primary triad that you can do almost anything with. So that would be perhaps my only modification. Perhaps once I run out of this yellow, I will see what QOR has in terms of other yellows to offer, other cool yellows, and I will replace it. But as for the rest, it has a magenta, which is always something I'm rambling that is missing in most sets. It has dihexazine purple, which is one of my favorite colors. So I really have no immediate correction that I would think. Perhaps I would eventually remove Payne's Gray. It's super nice, but it's not a color I use often, so I would possibly put perhaps a phthalo green in there or something. But it is a super nice Payne's Gray, and I might find myself using it more than I'm thinking right now, because I don't usually have such a nice gray in my palette. It's true that the set is missing a yellow ochre. I'm wondering what... Oh, I think I can possibly mix something similar. Hold on, let's see. I'm gonna use a silicone well. Haha, to try, because I haven't yet. The silicone part seems to be beading a bit more than the lid. Yeah, it definitely is. But it might be just a thing about needing some hues. That's kind of similar to a yellow ochre. And it's gonna have like semi-opaque attributes as well because of the cadmium. Well, that's a set for you then, Connor. If you like the cadmium yellow, that's a good selling point for you, because all the other colors are really nice, as you can see from here. I keep looking at the chart and forgetting that it's not on camera. But it is a super nice set. The good thing with QOR in general is that their colors are so intense and loaded that you really don't need that much to paint. So you won't like go through these colors too fast. You can get kind of a raw umber color by mixing the violet and the nickel azo yellow. Yeah, it is beading quite a lot. I wonder if that's something that will eventually get better with use. I don't mind it all that much because this surface is really good. It's not beading at all, so at least there is that. But I'm really curious about the silicone trays. This is the first time I see it in a set. And it has advantages, like the pans are held really firmly in this set. The pans themselves. The cakes are a bit loose, but I'm going to fix that later. But the pans, they won't budge. So that's kind of interesting instead of having the metal setup structure that we usually have. And it also means that this set has no sharp edges, so you won't be cutting yourself on this set. It also doesn't have a ring to hold, which I'm just noticing now. So I'm not sure what is their plan, what is their idea, if you think of this set in terms of traveling with it. Yeah, I was thinking about you, Otto, that most people won't go through this set fast, except for Otto, because they work on larger formats. So perhaps not the set for larger paintings, but I don't think it's being sold with that intent either. I think that's it for the first impression, unless you guys have more questions or more mixes you want me to try. I don't know what you think of the colors I got, but as far as skin tones go, this is kind of decent, I think. And if it's not perfect and the camera is not good, but it's a good starting point to make it, to tweak it until something you you would prefer. Like this is well, the white of the paper is my color, but this is something I would use if I was painting myself, and if it was someone of Asian descent, this could be a fitting base color. And you have like I'm sorry, all kinds of darker colors here to fit other origins and other skin tones. And you can mimic kind of a nice transparent-ish yellow ochre as well. And over here I have a super nice green and a decent granulating gray somewhere in there, mixing the burnt umber and the ultramarine blue. Kind of a teal color as well. Oh yeah, Kat is saying that if you care about thumb rings, just take a phone ring holder thing and you can stick it to the bottom. Will it make will this be wobbly if I do that though? Victoria is saying that the white paper captures their skin tone perfectly. Me too. Same thing. I will possibly share a picture of this somewhere to try and give you guys a better idea of the color. I think everything is much more vibrant and a bit off on the camera. But still, the colors are really bright, they're really nice, and I'm super excited for this set, and I'm incredibly thankful again for making this possible. It's a bit overwhelming in an awesome way, and I'm really looking forward to painting with this set. I love that it's so small that I can carry it in my bag and forget about it unless I need it. That's pretty great. And yeah, so yeah, the idea of sticking a foam thumb ring is from Kat at Meow Meow Kapow. Sub the love. I should have kind of an easy to pick up and put down sub the love. It's the hashtag we we came up with this hashtag 2 weeks ago. Hashtag sub the love, and it's to sort of share awareness of all the amazing artists in this community. So yeah, if you want to see more awesome tips and tricks for making travel palettes work for you, go check out Kat's channel. Kat, she's Meow Meow Kapow, and yeah, she's pretty amazing. She creates the most amazing travel sets from basic stuff that you wouldn't think you can put together in a set, but there you go, travel set. Okay, so yeah, thank you so much guys for showing up for this impromptu thing. I really wanted to share the experience of opening this very special set with you guys. It's always going to be super special for me, and I'm excited because not only is it special, but it's also really good, so yes. And I will be eventually making a full review with the demo and all kinds of verified information that I will have time to research. So that's going to be there at some point. But until then, you have this first impression unboxing kind of thing. And you can still refer to it, I think, for seeing what the set is about and get a glimpse of whether or not it's for you. So yes, thank you very much for being there, everyone, and we will see each other later this week and also on Saturday for the Saturday live stream. Have a great Monday, guys, and see you next time.